Town Manager Talk on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Thursday, March 8th, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. The Town Manager Search Subcommittee recommended the town begin its search for a new manager internally. However, after some discussion last Thursday, the council voted to extend the search across the country. I spoke with Town Council President Fred Chirigotis regarding that decision. So, a rather active Town Council meeting last week. One of the things I want to focus on, and I know a lot of eyes are turned towards this, is the Town Manager search. Now, from what I understand, Fred, the search subcommittee that was put together did recommend doing an internal search first, but the council ended up voting to go a different way.
Right. There were a number of people who spoke and a number of councilors, even those who were on that committee, who thought that search should be beyond the employees of the town of Barnstable right now. What the search committee had looked at is actually what is in the administrative code. It is a policy of the town of Barnstable to promote from within. So we do train and educate employees, including, assistant town manager and various department heads who get degrees and actually ends up being partially covered. Some of those costs are covered by the town as they advance in their departments. They get masters in public administration or things of that nature. So it's not. So actually, within the administrative code is to train and teach our employees and then to promote from within. So that's what that committee had looked at. But once we had the public hearings, there were a number of people who thought that to use their words, they would like to cast a wider net, and that's what will happen.
Indeed, and from watching the town council meeting last week, it seems a lot of councilors said they'd be satisfied if our current acting town manager was quote unquote the last man standing, but they felt it would be in the best interest of the town and really the community to take a look nationwide.
Well, you never know. There's a gem in the rough out there somewhere, is what some people think. But a number of people have. Tom Lynch has been the assistant town manager now for I think since 2008, and he has been either the interim or acting town manager now. I want to say for 6 or 8 months, or however many months that's been, and he's done a great job. So there's no question about that. No one has had any complaints, but they just want to take a look and see if there are any other available candidates.
Indeed, and in terms of looking at Tom Lynch's contract as acting town manager, that's something else that took place at Thursday's meeting. Was his contract was extended for another 3 months, and from what I understand, that's the final extension under the town's charter or under the code that can happen. Correct?
Well, that is the final term that we could have an acting town manager without having a contract for a town manager.
Indeed, and so I'm guessing, Fred, that the nationwide search is going to take a little longer than 3 months. So what do you anticipate occurring after those 3 months are up? I mean, I'm guessing that you're with me in that it's going to take a little longer than 3 months to do a large scale search.
Well, the first thing we're doing is getting together what the timeline is. Actually, to send out the request for proposals, just to get a professional group on board to assist in doing the search, and there's a protocol for that. Although I can say we've had 3 town managers in the town of Barnstable, and we've never done a national search. We've never engaged a company like this to do this, so this will be a first time for the town of Barnstable.
Sure. So talk to me a little bit, Fred, about the process. As you said, the first thing is to put that RFP out to get a group of professionals on board. I would assume a consultant of some sort to kind of coordinate this nationwide search. What happens after that's in place? Well,
then the search, the company works with the town to actually put together the job description that you would like to send out and advertise for, and helps prepare the advertising, and it goes out, and then you accept all your applications, and you begin to screen through those, and depending on numbers, and as I've seen in recent history here on the Cape and in local towns, those can be in the hundreds, and you got to screen through them and narrow that down.
Exactly. So, I mean, obviously, as you say, this is the first time that the town of Barnstable has gone through a nationwide search. Any anticipation on the length of time this may take?
There are a whole host of predictions, but, we've seen, I really wouldn't want to predict, but I can say that we've seen neighboring towns right here on the Cape take as long as a year, at least in one case take a year and then start all over again. So It can take a long time. There are a number of cities and towns across the Commonwealth, not to mention the nation, that are actually in the process of looking for a town manager right now also. So and have been in the process for, up to 6 months easily, and are not any closer to the finish than we are. So it can be a long process. It just depends on how it works.
Right. And Fred, really, as we've seen over the past several months and really almost a year now, the community of Barnstable really has taken an interest in that particular position and what's going on. So do you anticipate public input being a large part of the process to search for a new manager?
I think well, it's interesting that I hear this all the time, public input. Every single counselor is a representative of his community, his or her community, and every single time a counselor speaks, that's public input, if you ask me. So, yes, that we will have a whole host of ways of going through this process, but I really don't see counselors as being anybody other than the public, the voice of the public.
Sure. So, in other words, if members of the public do take an interest, probably the best plan of action is to speak with their counselor and perhaps call them up, go to visit them, and express to them what they're thinking, and that way they can kind of utilize the counselor in the role in which they are meant to serve as a voice of the public. Absolutely.
Counselors are representative individuals. We receive emails, voicemails, letters. I mean, those are all good things, and we speak directly to people all the time. So, I mean, that's the process.
Fred also explained the council's decision regarding the state's health care reform. I understand, again, the town council did vote in the affirmative to accept those health insurance changes. Can you boil down to me exactly what that vote means?
Yep, actually, because there are a number of mistakes and misconceptions about what that vote was. A number of people have, and I've read in the newspaper that the town of Barnstable, that the Barnstable Town Council voted to change municipal health insurance, and that's not exactly what happened. What we were presented with was, first of all, health insurance is changing, and the way health insurance comes is changing, and that has nothing to do with the Barnstable Town Council. That has to do with state law, and it has to do with all of the municipal health care groups across the state. But what was presented to us was a state law which enables the town council to authorize the administration to engage in an expedited negotiation process for an expedited implementation process for the health insurance. So the health insurance changes are coming. The question was whether or not the bill that we passed allows those changes to be put into place for every municipal union and for every municipal employee, except for those that are in negotiation right now. Those people get to negotiate the health insurance portion of their contract, whereas any existing contract that is not currently open, that change is made, and the negotiation does not occur until the contract gets open sometime, when it expires.
Indeed, Fred, and I appreciate that clarification because I, too, have read and heard those conflicting reports, a lot of which were saying that the changes that are coming through the municipal health group were what were voted on, and from what my understanding of that was, that was going to be the case regardless of how the council voted.
Right. We have nothing to do. We don't pick and choose the health insurance. Health insurance changes are going to be made. The question was whether or not the town could engage in an expedited negotiation process, which was strictly those contracts that are not open, changes will be made. The contracts that are open, then health insurance is one of the issues that can be negotiated. That's all the state law was. The state law doesn't require that all contracts be reopened so that you can now negotiate the health insurance portion.
Indeed.
So what it did was it said that the change goes in, you can put the change into effect when the contract is open, then that is an issue that is subject to collective bargaining.
Right. Well, Fred, thank you so much for clearing that up, and thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to speaking with you again next Thursday morning.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Fred Chirigotis is our town council president here in the town of Barnstable. Again, the town council met last Thursday. They do not meet tonight. They will meet again next Thursday morning, and of course, we will bring you all the details about that meeting. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.